kind of have an understanding. I've encountered other people, obviously, in the years since my daughter died, who have lost children. And I know several people who had a strong faith, who turned their back on their faith for some time, and some of them found their way back to it and some of them didn't. And I view this as no different. Spiritualism isn't a conventional faith, but it is a set of beliefs. But what I like to think about it is that it's an open-minded set of beliefs. And so what I would say to somebody who is, usually two things come up. People will say they're very nervous of going to a spiritual church because they don't know what's going to happen. They think maybe the lights are going to go out and everyone's going to start, doing a seance or something, or people are going to levitate, and it's not like that at all. They're usually like in it's almost like a little church hall. It's a bit like a little church, but without the actual prayers and the sort of iconography that you associate with conventional religion. There's a focus on light and love and healing rather than Jesus and God, although there is a whole branch of the spiritualist church that has that focus, but that's a different story. So I would say really go with an open mind and go with the understanding that you will receive what you need to receive on that particular occasion, and that might be nothing. For me on that first occasion, I think it was maybe a test of my beliefs. I came out really angry with the whole spiritualist movement, unnecessarily angry with the medium on the platform that evening, and I said to my husband, I'm never ever going back to any of those places again. 2 weeks later, I remember clearly we'd had friends visiting us. I was quite tired emotionally at that point. I was still finding it very hard to be around people other than people who knew me very well. They'd just left. I felt really emotionally quite tired, and I just blurted out, I think I'm going to go to the spiritualist church this evening. And I remember my husband saying, do you mean the one that you said you were never ever going to again? And bless him, he was like, okay, go. So I went, and on my way there, I talked to Romy in the car. I used to do that a lot when I had her. I was driving around with her a lot in the car when she was with me alive. And I continued that practice for a long time after she died. And so I was driving to the spiritualist church, and I was just talking out loud to Romy in my car. I was on my own. I didn't have my phone on. The radio wasn't on, nothing. And I remember I said out loud to her, I have no idea why I'm going back here. I really don't know why I'm doing this. I said I wasn't going to go back to this place again. I just feel like I'm being pulled there. And you know what? I'm your mother, and I know you're okay. I know you're okay. But I just need to hear it from you. I just need you to tell me you're okay. That's all I need. And I carried on driving. I got there. I went in. It was really crowded that night, and the medium had a slightly unusual way of working, in that she explained to everyone. First, she worked incredibly quickly. So whereas a lot of, I'd say most mediums doing platform demonstrations will kind of take their time, come to one person, deliver a message or two, move on. This lady was literally sort of firing out pieces of information at people. Okay, lady over there in the red top, and she warned us that she was working like that. And something really odd happened. I walked in, I deliberately went to the back, because even then I was still thinking, this is not something I really want. Why am I here? I sort of lurked at the back, and she started working with somebody at the front, and I had this thought flashed into my head, she's going to give me a message, I'm going to be the third person she comes to. And I was. And she gave me quite a brief message. She correctly identified I was wearing a locket around my neck with a picture of Romy and a lock of her hair, which actually was hidden underneath the scarf. And so I thought, okay, that's quite good. Told me a couple of other bits and pieces that were relevant, but not particularly relevant to Romy. And then she said, okay, I'm going to move on. And then she said, actually, there's something very, very important I have to tell you. I'm being told very clearly that I have to give you this phrase, and I have to say it in exactly this way. That's how specific she was. And she said, they're telling me I have to tell you 2 words. I just have to say, I'm okay. And I've done developmental work as a medium myself. I've had this set of beliefs most of my life. But still I test and I question them continually, and I'm always looking for an explanation. I'm always happy when somebody says to me, well, what if it's this, what if it's that? That one, I cannot put anything to that. If anyone would like to try, I'll listen, but I've gone over and over that a lot, and to me, it was extraordinary. It was one of the most extraordinary experiences I think I had with a medium afterwards. So I would say to people who are unsure and maybe they've lost a loved one, don't go there expecting something like that to happen. Equally, don't go there expecting something really woo-woo and weird. Just go there and be open. And sometimes you hear a message from somebody completely unexpected or somebody you barely knew, but generally you will get a piece of information that it is relevant or helpful to you in some way. That might not occur to you until maybe a few weeks after you've received it sometimes, but being open, I think, is number one.